Fucking hell. Alright. Let's go ahead and get her done. I'm already late as shit on this review. But anyways, so I saw this a few days ago, and unfortunately I've been sort of procrastinating on this review because this movie is it's not good, and I'm gonna tell you why. Okay, took some notes here. So first off, this film this film changes timelines more than the amount of timelines that Barry Allen fucked up on the CW. Like, I swear to God, it feels like within the first 30 minutes we've gone to like 15 different timelines, you know. I'm just using random examples, but all of a sudden we're 1990 this, and then all of a sudden we're 1990 this, and all of a sudden we're 1980 something this, and then it's just like whoa, like it's just there's way too many jump cutting to different time zones. Like if I knew nothing about Tupac, and I was like, this was my first batch of information about Tupac. This film would be confusing as fuck. Oh my god, it'd be as confusing as trying to piece together the cinematic X-Men timelines and trying to make that shit coherent. You know what I mean? So that was a big time flaw. Another flaw is that the film feels very unfocused. Like the shifts in tone and the pacing just seem way off. Like it's hard to say like what their overall message is supposed to be about this film. Like what are you what are you trying to tell me about Tupac? You know, are you trying to tell me that like you know, sometimes it came off rough, but he was actually really smart? He's kind of, or are you trying to tell me he was kind of a philosopher? Are you trying to tell, like, what are you trying to tell me about this motherfucker? Because it's just all over the place. It almost seems like this film is just a scatter shot of just all these concepts and subplots happening all at once. You know what I'm saying? It's just like Jesus Christ, and we're just mowing through years. You know what I mean? And that just, I don't know, it just been, like the pacing, for example. Like, by the time we get to the sequence where, let me see if I have this. On November 30th, 1994, let me see, the day before the verdict and Tupac's sexual abuse trial was to be announced, he was robbed and shot 5 times by 3 men. Okay, yeah. During that, by the time we got to that sequence, it felt like I had been sitting in the theater for like 3.5 hours by that point. Okay, like the pacing is just off with this movie. Like the movie feels extremely long. Jesus Christ. Which is not to say that there should be a short film about Tupac, but the pacing was off here, and I just thought that the tone just was just kind of all over the place. What else? Let me see. Oh yeah, another weird thing is that the film feels bizarrely like. I almost thought I wasn't recording for a second. You know how fucked up that would be. I was doing a good job if I wasn't recording, but no, the movie feels weirdly cheap. I'm not saying like, you know, this bitch feels like it should be on the Hallmark channel, but it just feels wait, is that a channel? I think there's a channel. I feel like I've referenced this many times. The Hallmark channel. Oh yeah, okay. Anyway, I'm sorry. It's late. Anyways, so at the beginning of the film where they showed the prison sequence, right? God, that's a terrible channel. But when they showed the prison sequence at the beginning of the film, I was like, man, a lot of these shots feel really low budget, you know? Let me see. Or anytime that there's like a performance going on, in general, it just feels cheap. It's weird. It's I think it's maybe just like a combination of the resolution of the camera and the production design, but it like none of these performances felt like intimate and like really detailed from a production standpoint, or grand in scope, or I don't know. It just felt like this movie had like a low budget. I could be totally wrong because ironically I haven't looked into the budget, but the budget doesn't feel big whatsoever. Um, so I just thought that was strange because you would think for that for a first Tupac movie, you would want to spend some serious fucking money. You know what I'm saying? Or at least like, cause like Straight Out Compton, which I thought was a vastly superior film. I don't know the budget of that film, but like it, I never felt the sense that like the movie felt low budget when I watched Straight Out Compton. You know what I mean? But I did hear, mostly because of the technical aspects. Let's see here. Other flaws. What else do I got? Oh my god. Oh my god. This is a big one. This is a big one. This movie just. First off, this is not the definitive Tupac Shakur film. Like, not by any means. Like, this film just feels so. This is how the movie should have felt. It should have felt iconic. It should have felt goosebumps inducing, giving you chills and shit. Uh, and this movie gives you none of that. This movie should have been like emotionally powerful and resonating, and it's just completely not, because they just don't. They don't nail the essence of Tupac, in my opinion. Like anyone who knew nothing about Tupac, but like was just kind of informed of him a little bit the day prior, and then they went to see this film, like that person would not have a this would be a terrible representation of Tupac. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, it just doesn't do a good job of showing why people were so fascinated by Tupac and so moved by his words, and why people thought he was just so deep as fuck, and like creepily philosophical, and almost seemed to have this bizarre connection with the concept of death, and kind of future concepts for the state of hip hop. But like there was one scene where it was Pac and Biggie are having a Pac and Biggie are having a conversation against a cityscape. Okay, this should have been one of the most eerie and thought-provoking scenes of the year, but instead it just feels like cheap. Literally in this image right now, the background doesn't even look real. Maybe it is, but for God's sakes, it doesn't. It kind of ties into the cheap factor I was talking about. But anyway, this sequence should have been hair raising. It should have, but it's not. It's just like that's an interesting concept, but it just sort of gets lost in the mix. To be honest, I only remember this scene because I was like splicing through the trailer to find certain images, but it just. By the way, random but kind of awkward. But on Jada Pinkett Smith's Facebook, she was talking about the inaccuracies in the film, and Jada was talking about all these sequences, particularly this sequence, like never happened. This argument between Jada and Tupac never happened. That, whoa. When I read that Facebook post, I was like, "Oh man, if I was the director, I would have felt awkward as shit." Good lord. But yeah, it's like, I don't know. They just didn't capture that. I don't know. They just didn't. They didn't capture Tupac right to me. Like in Walk the Line, I felt like they captured Johnny Cash so fucking perfect. Joaquin Phoenix, like they understood him. You know what I'm saying? Like they just captured the essence of Johnny Cash, in my opinion, just fantastically. Holy shit. The Wolf of Wall Street, Martin Scorsese. They tackled. I've watched a few interviews, a lot of interviews of Jordan Belfort, and they captured that motherfucker. I did my own research and stuff, but they captured him perfectly. that is Jordan, and probably the best representation of Jordan in The Wolf of Wall Street with Leonardo DiCaprio that you're ever likely to see. And you just don't get that, with this film. And I just thought, fuck. What else? I think my final major negative is the main actor. It's not that he did a bad job, the actor, but like, I feel like the most impressive aspect of this actor's performance is his visual similarities to Pac. He's got the physicality down. His facial features, his physicality is similar to Tupac for sure. Probably the most Tupac-esque person they could possibly find. But beyond that, moving past the fact that like, oh shit, he kind of looks like Tupac. Damn. Yeah. Once you move past that, honestly, I feel like his performance was decent at best. Overall, like it was okay. There was never a point in time where I thought that his performance was exceptional or moving. I think I was only, honest to God, I was only impressed one time with his performance in the film. One time. And it was a pretty short sequence, but it was this scene right here. For whatever reason, this scene right here where Pac is talking to these two guys and he's like trying to get signed onto their label or whatever. For whatever reason, like his mannerisms and the way that he was joking and like I was like, you know what? For a moment, it's kind of Pac right there, in performance. I mean, he definitely pulls off looking like Tupac all day. Fine, that's great. But in terms of like acting like Tupac, this was the only scene where I was like, damn, he kind of seems like Pac for real in this sequence. Like, holy shit. But outside of that, but even in that scene, it wasn't anything like exceptional or anything. I was just like, damn, he did a good job. They did a good job. I was kind of like De Niro during that sequence and when I was in the theater. But yeah, I don't know. I thought that his performance was just it was okay at best, honestly, and that was massively disappointing. When I saw The Social Network, Mark Zuckerberg, Jesse Eisenberg. Whoa, I didn't notice that similarity in last names. But anyways, like I had seen a bit of footage of Mark Zuckerberg prior to watching The Social Network, and I was like, God damn. Like, granted, I don't know Mark Zuckerberg, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, fuck me. Like, Jesse Eisenberg got marked down. Because there were certain interviews that I was watching with Mark Zuckerberg, and then I thought about certain things that Jesse Eisenberg did in the film, and I was like, God damn, Jesse, you nailed the shit out of this motherfucker. Anyway, but yeah, I just thought that was really disappointing. Like his performance should have been like a powerhouse. You know what I'm saying? Like his performance should have been an immediate like Oscar buzz already. And no. So yeah, as you can see, I was just disappointed in this film. I mean, it just the only real positives that I have is that the film is watchable. I mean, it's not like this train wreck of a movie. The film is watchable. This is gonna sound like a random positive, but the actor playing Snoop Dogg, his voice was so accurate that like when that actor first started talking to Snoop Dogg, I honestly thought that like there was some weird ADR work going on, like some weird like the actual Snoop Dogg was like doing a voiceover on the actor every time he spoke. Like Jesus Christ, he got Snoop Dogg's voice down accurately. Holy shit. That, and I thought that the death sequence of Tupac was actually, it was handled sufficiently. It was handled sufficiently. It was really difficult for me to say that. But it was decent, I can't say it was great, but it was done sufficiently because it really bothered me. Like, like the way that they kind of drew out the death sequence, like they really took their time with getting right down to the exact moment where Tupac is shot right here, and it really, it's crazy. It really made me fucking. It just took me back to the first time I heard about this incident with Tupac when he got killed, and how that fucked me up because I've always just been fascinated by Tupac. I think he's just literally one of the most fascinating, thought-provoking artists I've ever breathed. Period. So hearing the details on how he died is just so not only just tragic, but like it. I gotta say, yeah, they definitely did a sufficient job with the death sequence. Cause like I almost wanted to just walk out. Cause I was like, man, I ain't trying to see this shit, man. Now I'm thinking about how Pac died, and that's just so fucked up. Cause he just seems so smart and clever, and just a genuine artist, and it's fucked up. So yeah, they definitely did a decent job there, and yeah, I was disappointed personally. I was just expecting something more grand scale in terms of the technical aspects of the film. I was expecting more dynamic performances, particularly from the main lead. I don't know. The execution of the story was off, so the movie actually felt like really really long and just like, oh man, I'm about to start falling asleep. Holy shit. Reading through his Wikipedia page would be more visceral than watching this damn movie. But um, I'm kind of feeling like a five out of 10 for this film. Uh it just roll on to the next Tupac film. This isn't the one. This isn't the one. Ironically, Straight Outta Compton, which I thought was going to be terrible, Straight Outta Compton I thought was awesome. My only issue with Straight Outta Compton is that I just thought it was very sugar coated. But other than that, hot damn, did they do a good job. I gave Straight Outta Compton like a 9 out of 10. I had a blast with that film, surprisingly. But this one, nah. Give us the next, give us the next Tupac iteration, because he just deserves better in the filmmaking world. But I don't know. What'd you think about this film? Let me